1260 KDUZ News. I'm Mark Wodarczyk. At about 2 yesterday morning, a Wright County Sheriff's deputy on patrol discovered a burglary in progress at the American Mini Storage at 4824 State Highway 55 Northwest in Maple Lake Township. Authorities say at that point a foot pursuit ensued and the deputy lost the suspect in a wooded area. However, with the assistance of a Wright County K-9 unit and a helicopter from the Minnesota State Patrol, the suspect was located nearby. The suspect, 33-year-old Matthew Lee Grindelin of Maple Lake, was booked into the Wright County Jail on charges of fourth-degree burglary and fleeing a police officer on foot. Fire caused extensive damage to an unused building in Cokato Sunday afternoon. The call came in just before 1 p.m. for a structure fire at the Valco Ray Dot building on 145 Jackson Avenue Southwest. Authorities say the building was mostly vacant and was not being used and sustained substantial smoke and fire damage. Cause of the fire remains under investigation. Saying weather conditions will create explosive fire growth potential, the National Weather Service has put portions of west central and south central Minnesota, including Candiota and Renville counties, under a red flag warning for today and tomorrow. Officials say high temperatures, high winds, low humidity, and extremely dry conditions have increased the chance for wildfires. The threat especially worrisome in rural areas where fields are full of dry crops. Officials in Yellow Medicine, Renville, and Chippewa counties have initiated restrictions on open burning as well. Minnesota farmers have taken advantage of warm and dry conditions to make a lot of progress harvesting soybeans. The latest report from the Ag Department says the soybean harvest in Minnesota is now 35% complete. It jumped 32 percentage points in the last week. University of Minnesota President Eric Kaler is making his first visits to the University of Minnesota's Rochester campus and the Hormel Institute in Austin. Brent Palm has details.
Kaler is signing a new partnership agreement today between the U of M, the Mayo Clinic, and the Hormel Foundation in Austin. The university's Hormel Institute is considered a world leader in cancer prevention research. Kaler will tour the institute following lunch and then attend a public reception at the U of M Rochester this afternoon. He'll spend tomorrow on the Rochester campus meeting with students, faculty, and staff. Kaler says the U's presence in Austin and Rochester is of critical importance to the university and the economic vitality of southern Minnesota.
United Health Group of Minnetonka plans to market discounted hearing aids to consumers, even non-subscribers.
The cost of hearing aids generally isn't covered by health insurance companies and can run up to $3,000 per ear. United Health said today it will offer hearing aids for between $749 and $949 per ear. Some Medicare health plans offer $500 discounts on hearing aids. United Health says for members of its Medicare health plans, that could make some hearing aids available for free. United Health Group is one of the largest providers of Medicare health plans. Abby Pop reporting.
State health officials are encouraging Minnesotans to get a flu shot this fall. The first laboratory-confirmed cases are usually reported in late November. Infectious Disease Division Director Chris Erzman says this year's vaccine is expected to be a good match.
At this point, we haven't seen influenza activity in Minnesota, so we can't speak specifically to that. But the vaccine is developed with the intent to protect against the strains that have been the most common and are expected to circulate.
Erzman says your body should develop protection against influenza within 7 to 10 days of being vaccinated. She adds that it is never too early to get a flu shot. Republican State Senator Scott Newman of Hutchinson and fellow legislators will begin hosting town hall meetings throughout District 18 over the next several weeks. Senator Newman will be joined by Representative Dean Erdahl of Grove City and Litchfield at the Main Street Cafe from 5 to 7 p.m. on October 11th, and by Representative Ron Szymanski of Silver Lake in Silver Lake at Molly's Cafe from 5 to 7 p.m. on October 18th. Meetings provide an opportunity for legislators to meet with citizens in an effort to gather input, feedback, and address local concerns. Senator Newman and Representatives Erdahl and Szymanski plan to host additional town hall meetings throughout the district, with details to be announced at a later date. President Obama answers some tough questions during an exclusive ABC News Yahoo interview. More from ABC's Brad Wheelis.
Focus on the White House. It's the classic question asked by presidents since Reagan. Are you better off than you were 4 years ago? And we put that question to President Obama. Are Americans better off?
Well, I don't think they're better off than they were 4 years ago. They're not better off than they were before Lehman's collapse, before the financial crisis. before this extraordinary recession that we're going through.
The president took questions submitted online during our ABC News Yahoo interview. With more, here's ABC News White House correspondent Ann Compton.
President Obama says absolutely he is going to be the campaign underdog.
I don't mind. I'm used to being an underdog.
But voters will see he's the only candidate with an economic plan.
What people are going to say is, who's got a vision for the future?
And Brad, that phrase will become his 2012 bumper sticker.
The president sent trade deals with Colombia, Panama, and South Korea to the Capitol. They were embraced by Republicans. They say they'll create jobs here at home. Brad Wheelis, ABC News.
Journalist Amy Goodman and two of her producers will get a $100,000 settlement over their arrests during the 2008 Republican National Convention in St. Paul. Once again, here's Abby Pop.
The host of the syndicated show Democracy Now! Says the settlement will force police to develop new policies for protecting journalists covering big protests. But a lawyer for local governments and law enforcement said those policies were already in place in the Twin Cities. I'm Abby Pop.
Wright County Sheriff's Office has received reports of citizens being approached for driveway paving work, and while the Sheriff's Office has not been able to substantiate any actual criminal activity, citizens are reminded to be alert when dealing with contractors who stop by unsolicited. If citizens feel they have been victimized, they should contact the Wright County Sheriff's Office. Wade Park City Council has voted to sell some guns confiscated by police. By a 4-1 vote, the council decided last night to sell any otherwise legal shotguns and rifles, but the guns can only be sold to federally licensed dealers the city already works with. Minnesota-based 3M and the Discovery Channel named the winner of the 13th Young Scientist Challenge tomorrow. 3M's Dr. Matt Scholl says the 10 middle school finalists are judged by the same criteria 3M uses to hire scientists.
We look for people that have a passion for what they're doing, good understanding of science and the science of what they're doing. You know, people that really want to change the way things are today.
Winner receives $25,000 and the title America's Top Young Scientist. No Minnesota students are among those finalists. Mike Napoli hit a 2-run homer, and the defending AL champion Texas Rangers survived a shaky night from their bullpen to hold off the Tampa Bay Rays 4-3 to take a 2-1 lead in their AL Division Series.
Beltre the lead from second.